For this sweater in size 48, cast on 110 stitches, knit 1 stitch, then purl 1 stitch, and repeat this pattern for the whole row. Keep knitting like this until the piece is about 5 centimeters long. Let me check. 2, 4, 5. Remove 1 extra needle, turn your work, and continue knitting. This time, start with 1 purl stitch, then 1 knit stitch, and repeat across the row. Slip the first stitch without knitting it. Turn the work and keep knitting the same way. Slip the first stitch. This row starts with a knit stitch, then a purl stitch. Repeat this pattern across the row. Continue knitting the ribbing until it reaches 5 centimeters in height. Turn the work and keep the same rhythm. Slip 1 stitch onto the right needle. Start with a knit stitch, then a purl stitch. Repeat this pattern across the row. Knit, purl, until the end. We have started our work and knitted 5 centimeters of ribbing in a 1-by-1 pattern, 1 knit stitch, 1 purl stitch. Next, we knit for 15 more centimeters. The total length should be 20 centimeters. Here it is. 20 centimeters of black fabric. We will knit it with a special pattern, pluripotent ribbing. I will explain it to you later. Then we knit 20 centimeters with yellow yarn for our piece. Also, 20 centimeters. Just knitting the fabric straight. Here is this sweater. We started the pattern as 1-by-1 ribbing, meaning 1 knit stitch, 1 purl stitch. To create volume in the sweater, meaning the pattern, we chose this design, half patent ribbing. Here, the yarn over is included. the purl stitch is made with a yarn over. Knit, stitch. Yarn over. We do not knit the purl stitch, but simply slip it onto the right needle with a yarn over. The entire sweater will be made using this technique. No need to knit it, just slip it with a yarn over. Then turn the work. On the wrong side, knit as follows: knit stitch, purl stitch, knit stitch, purl stitch, without any yarn overs. Here is our working fabric, which measures 40 centimeters, 20 centimeters in black, and 20 centimeters in yellow. Then we started transitioning to green. This is the piece that will be used for the front panel. Next, we will leave a margin of 50 stitches. After skipping 50 stitches, we will start knitting the pattern. Before the pattern, we knit 2 centimeters with green yarn. We have knitted 4 centimeters here. Now we bind off for the armhole. Knit the knit stitches and purl the purl stitches. We need to bind off 9 stitches. We need to keep 1 edge stitch here, with the next stitch being a knit stitch. So we ended up binding off 8 stitches instead. To ensure a nice pattern and a well-shaped sleeve, we continue knitting according to the pattern. Knit the knit stitches and purl stitches with a yarn over. Continue this way until reaching the pattern section. Our piece is almost ready. We knitted 20 centimeters in black, 20 centimeters in yellow, and 2 centimeters in green before starting the pattern. Then, from the edge, to begin our pattern, we knitted 50 stitches from the armhole edge to the pattern section. We have 15 stitches allocated for the pattern. We set these 15 stitches aside for the pattern and continue knitting in stockinette stitch without any additional patterns. The armhole starts at 4 centimeters. We knitted an additional 2 centimeters. Here, you begin binding off 9 stitches. After binding off 9 stitches, continue knitting. Try to ensure that the edge remains a knit stitch, not a purl stitch. Do the same on the other side. Move toward the center of the fabric. The total stitch count is 111 stitches, so divide it into 2 parts, 55 and 56 stitches. The center should be at 56 stitches. If you count, it will align this way. There should be 29 stitches left for the shoulder, with the center positioned accordingly. From the center, bind off 10 stitches. Then, every 3 to 4 rows, depending on the pattern, decrease as follows. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I decreased by knitting 3 stitches together into 1. We have knitted the sleeve. Cast off 8 stitches here and started decreasing. Now we are going to finish this sleeve. I don't finish from the very beginning of the row, but do it after 2 stitches. I will now knit the purl row and then show you how to do it. To make the decreases look neat, knit the purl row as usual. Knit stitch, purl stitch. The stitch with the yarn over is knitted as a regular stitch. Knit stitch, purl stitch, just like a standard 1x1 ribbing. I am knitting the purl side. Now I am switching to the knit side, and I will show you how to make the decrease. Of course, you can decrease from the beginning of the row, but I decided to do it after 2 stitches. This is because the brand's design shows that the decrease is made after 2 stitches. Slip the first stitch. Knit the next stitch. Then purl the stitch with the yarn over. Here is the first knit stitch, then the second knit stitch. Now bind off 3 stitches. It creates a slightly shifted tree pattern. Continue knitting to the end. Where there is a purl stitch with a yarn over, knit it as follows. Purl with yarn over, knit stitch, purl with yarn over, then continue with knit stitches until the end. In the finished form, it will look like this. That means the decrease is not visible. This is the knit stitch, and when you look closely, the stitch is positioned right here. So it will lay neatly without any twisting or distortion. This will be the finished sleeve. I have already knitted one, and now I am finishing the second one. We knitted the black fabric 20 centimeters, the yellow fabric 20 centimeters. Then we knitted 2 centimeters before the pattern and started the pattern. The pattern is made only with knit stitches. This means the previous design will not work here. Otherwise, the pattern will not be structured correctly. We continued knitting, keeping it at 20 centimeters. I started shaping the neckline, and I did the same for the back. On the front, we will now finish the neckline and attach the sleeves. The sleeve will be sewn in like this. and once that's done, our sweater will be complete. We have finished the branded Louis Vuitton sweater in size 48. The entire piece is completely ready, the neckline is finished, the sleeves are sewn in, and everything is just as it should be. Thank you for visiting my channel. I hope you enjoyed it.